Welcome back to Community Conversations, where we talk to individuals and groups that are making a difference in Concord. I'm joined today by Tom Furtado. He's the president and CEO of Catch Neighborhood Housing. So Tom, thanks for taking a few minutes to join us. I know you guys must be really busy. There's a lot of exciting projects, which we'll get to in a little bit. But first, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role at Catch and how you got involved with the organization?
Great, thank you, Josh, and I appreciate you having me on today. So I joined Catch back in 2017. It's really hard to believe it's been 4.5 years already. I was exposed to Catch in late 16, and I joined this great organization in early 17 as the senior vice president of real estate. And with that position, I was in charge of all real estate development and asset management. At that point, I worked for the then president and CEO, Rosemary who was a tremendous leader at Catch and really built the organization to what it is today. Unfortunately, we lost Rosemary back in 16. And I was appointed as the president and CEO in the early part of this year. My background prior to Catch was I have approximately 25 years experience in the real estate finance and various areas of real estate development in my experience, which is what attracted me to Catch and Catch's mission. Rosemary and I had many conversations about the mission, my background, the real estate development that Catch and its affiliates do up here in New Hampshire. And the mission was so intriguing to me at this point in my career that I was excited to join the organization and haven't looked back one day since.
That's great. Now, you mentioned the mission of the organization. For any nonprofit organization, the mission is basically why you exist. Concord TV has its own mission statement. It's the driving foundation of why we operate. For those who may not be aware, I think a lot of people know what Catch is, but a lot of people may not be aware of what the organizational mission is. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Tom?
Sure. Catch is a nonprofit, as you said, and our mission is to create and sustain affordable housing here in Merrimack County in the great state of New Hampshire. So what we do, Josh, is we develop the real estate and create affordable apartments. As you know, it's no secret that the affordability of residential apartments here in New Hampshire, and specifically in Merrimack County, there's a great demand for it at this point. And we're really just one of many great organizations that are trying to keep up with that demand and develop it. So we really create communities where every person is confident of a safe and affordable home. That's really our mission. And that's what we work hard doing every day.
Yeah, I mean, you alluded to it. Today, your mission is just as important, if not more important, than it was in previous years, given shortages in available housing, rental units. In New Hampshire, we might see that worse than any other state, although I think it's a countrywide issue. One of the specific projects that I know Concord TV, we actually recorded like a groundbreaking ceremony for, was for Rosemarys Way, which is an exciting project just up Route 3 a little bit. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about that project for those who may not have heard of it, but also as of this point in early October, how that's coming along?
Great. And before I mention any of that, I do want to say thank you to you and Concord TV for all your help. Yes, you did record that groundbreaking ceremony that we had just a couple months ago. And we were so pleased to have not only the governor and the mayor, but many representatives from New Hampshire Housing and different organizations that help us with that project. So what Rosemarys Way is, and we've named it that as a tribute and in memory of Rosemary Hurd, our former president and CEO. That is a 42-unit residential apartment development right in Pennacook on Route 3, as you had mentioned. And that project has 31 units that are restricted by income, known as affordable, as well as 11 unrestricted apartments. Unrestricted being they're open to anyone. There are no income restrictions for those 11 units, and 31 do have income restrictions. And the restricted income apartments are for individuals who earn 30, 50, or 60% of the Merrimack County area median income. And it's based on, and if you're not familiar with that, it's based on family size. And that's how an individual or a family would qualify for one of those residential apartments. We're very excited about it. We are on schedule, and we hope to deliver those 42 new residential apartments in Pennacook in the very beginning of 2022.
That's exciting and much needed for the area, all those units. Now, I assume the organization's been taking applications, so I'm sure you must have already more applicants than there are units. There must be a lot of excitement to fill those spots, right?
Yes, we've recently opened up the application process for those apartments, but I would certainly encourage anyone who may be interested in it to contact our asset and property management company called Alliance Asset Management right here in Concord, and that would be alliancenh.com. And we did have quite a bit of interest pre-completion of the project. So there are individuals right now that are filling out applications, but strongly encourage anyone who might have an interest to go to the website, contact the office at Alliance, and fill out an application.
All right. Well, you heard it there, that there's still an opportunity for people to apply. So just again, I'm somewhat new to the rental market, but they can basically apply, and even if they don't get in now, or they kept on kind of a wait list, is it better just to apply than to go, well, it's too late? Like, you might as well get your name in there and have yourself in the system. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Contact the office, put your application in. They'll walk you through the application on the phone or through a chat system online. And if you don't qualify, or there's not a unit that you're interested in today, we do have a very long wait list for many of our other projects, because we have over 350 other apartments here in Merrimack County. So if there's not a fit for you at Rosemarys Way, it's very likely we have a fit for you at one of the other great projects that we have around the county.
Okay, good to know. Now, in the big picture, which we alluded to a couple times, that I think the vacancy rate for apartments is just shockingly low in the Concord area, the greater Concord area. So where does Catch stand? You guys, there's so much work that goes into having the properties and managing them and everything like that. But where does Catch stand in terms of just the overall housing crisis and rental crisis, and sort of how that crisis is an opportunity for Catch to make a difference like you're doing?
Well, you referenced vacancy rate. Yes, the vacancy rate for residential apartments in the Concord area is extremely low. It's probably in the 1% range. And our portfolio is full as well. We have a few units available, but we do maintain that wait list. So as one comes available, individuals on the list are contacted immediately, and hopefully we can find a suitable apartment for them and their family. So what we do is we are continuously looking for new projects to develop. And that is an ongoing basis, whether you have one in construction, in your financing phase, what have you. So not only Catch, but there's many other housing organizations throughout the state that are just attempting to build as many affordable housing units as possible, because the need just keeps growing and growing.
Absolutely. Now, this is where, I try not to throw curveball questions, but, and this might be out of your guys' realm, but it makes me curious, like I get when I do these shows, is there anything on a state or federal level that has helped with this at all? Funding that has helped, or is there anything that could be done on that front?
Yes. So the lion's share of affordable development is done using what's called the low-income housing tax credit, which is a federal tax credit program administered by New Hampshire Housing. Each state administers their own. So that's really the primary method of financing for these projects. But during the pandemic and during the need for more residential housing, organizations like HUD and like New Hampshire Housing are continuing to try to find other means and other sources of financing and capital for groups like Catch to develop more and more residential apartments.
Okay, yeah, thanks for explaining that. I think for a lot of us New Hampshire residents, it's always, we're curious about how can these things be funded or what can be done. So it's good to know how that works. Now, as an organization, before we wrap up, I'm curious, are you guys looking for volunteers? If people in the Concord area want to help, what can they do? What are some of the ways they can get involved?
Absolutely. We're always looking for help. We're always looking for volunteers. Um, there's so many different ways you can do it. Here in the office doing administration, we have a couple volunteers that help out one day a week, a couple of days a month, what have you, as well as at the apartments. And we all often have days of service where our staff and volunteers will go to an apartment, a residential apartment development, and help out with landscaping or helping us rebuild the playground for the children, different things like that. So anyone interested in volunteering and helping us with our mission, please contact us.
And that's a great way for us likely to wrap things up. Unless, Tom, is there anything that we missed or that you'd like the Concord community to know that maybe we haven't covered yet?
Well, I would just like to say, I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are in need of affordable housing and may not know how to go about getting it. And maybe the first time that they need that, please contact us here at Catch or at Alliance Asset Management. Our staff is very knowledgeable of the process, can help walk them through it and help them in any way that we can. Not only if we don't have an apartment that might work, we certainly have a sister organization. We may have a sister organization around the state that could help. So never be afraid to reach out and ask questions and look for help.
All right, that's great. And we all can make a difference, I think, in our own little way and support Catch Neighborhood Housing in your mission. So thank you, Tom, for taking the time to tell us a little bit more about the organization. You know that Concord TV is here to work with you guys and help you guys along the way when it comes to anything with outreach and video production. And we're happy to partner with you guys. It's been a good partnership over the years. So I appreciate that.
It certainly has. And thank you, Josh, and thank you, Concord TV, for all that you do for us.